Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, ladies and gents. My name is Alex, and it's another solo episode of just me. So this episode's subject comes in from Minun is my god. Question: sequels. How many can a game have before it starts looking like a cash grab, or just ultimately pointless? A very loaded question with lots of opinions that are about to be said. So interestingly, I think this year for me is kind of shining a light on a bunch of series that have been going for a long time that I'm starting to get fatigued on, and this question is relevant to. And there's a number of reasons for things coming across like a cash grab, and it's usually game annualization, like your Call of Duties, Assassin's Creeds, probably other ones that I've forgotten and can't think about right now. But sometimes it's just actually detrimental for them to do this, making it look like, yeah, it's just a cash grab, and this is pointless. Like, look at Assassin's Creed. Like, I used to be so into that series, and as the years have gone on, I'm just totally fatigued to it. And at this point, it's like, I don't want to play another one of these again. I've had enough of this, and I've never really had an interest in Call of Duty. I don't care about military shooters. But it's the same thing with that. It's weird, you never see anyone really talking about COD or anything like that, in terms of like hype and excitement, but then they still always do really well. I'm sure the new one's going to do just as well as they always do. But the Assassin's Creed this year looks like people are actually starting to wane on the idea of it. I mean, it's still obviously going to do super well because it's got Assassin's Creed in the title, but people just seem to be kind of burnt on it. And the difference with annualization compared to something like, well, GTA is the one I always throw around, is that GTA is an event and is exciting because it only comes out every, 4 or 5 years? Ever since 4, I think it was. So you don't really have time to get fatigued to it. By the time a new one's been announced and that it's coming out, you're actually excited for it, and it doesn't feel like a cash grab or pointless. And it even pays off financially for them, so why don't more games do it? The same with like Fallout, Elder Scrolls. Those games are exciting when they come out. They are events, but they can't be events when they're released every single year. You just don't care about it as much when it's to be expected, when it's something you know is going to be there no matter what happens, so you're just sort of content with it. And I think certain long-running series, they start to kind of look cash grabby or kind of pointless. And when you really think about all the big series like your Halos, your Uncharted, do they really need to continue past the trilogy point? Does there need to be an Uncharted 4? Does there need to be a Halo 5? Do there need to be a Halo 4? Obviously, it's a financial decision, and if a game sold like 10 million copies, they're gonna make a sequel to it because there's money to be made there, and making games is a business. But then on the art side of things, you sometimes have to ask yourself, is this worth it? Like, I'd be totally happy if they never made another Last of Us game. I think that game is perfect by itself. It's a gem. It's a self-contained story. It doesn't need any more explanation. Otherwise, the ending becomes kind of meaningless. Unless with a sequel, they set it completely different time frame or different bunch of people or something like that. But the thing is, as long as these games sell, they're not going to change the way in which they're feeding them to people. Assassin's Creed is not going to change until they stop selling. Only when they start to see a decrease in sales might they think, okay, let's put this away for a couple years, actually make a really, really good one. Like, just think about Think about Assassin's Creed 3, if they delayed it another year or something. If they delayed Unity for another year. Those games could have been something special if they weren't rushed into production and kind of just placed in its expected release date because we're used to it, even if it wasn't ready. Which neither of Assassin's Creed 3 or Unity were, arguably. Even just on a running front, as in the game running. So what do you think? It's sort of a question of art versus business. Should it be done? Should it not be done? Is there a fine line that sort of merges the two ideas to make it not obviously a cash grab and not pointless? I think it's a difficult thing to achieve, but it is possible. Tell me what you think in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. All comments and ratings are very much appreciated. Make sure you check out some of my other videos and leave suggestions for future job labs. I'll see you next time. Bye! Console gaming is not declining at all. Both consoles are outpacing the previous gen equivalents. Unless it's the Wii U, which does that even count as... I'm just going to start ragging on the Wii U now, because I know people hate that. I love Nintendo and stuff. I'd buy one if they weren't dicks about putting the footage of their games on YouTube, but... Oh well. And this isn't like a question of which is the best to play on, it's just like a fact.